Welcome to another Sign of the Times for May the 11th. It's been a while, and we're currently looking at taxi fares. I believe that they'll be going up in price. How much does it cost to take a taxi from, let's say, Athlone to town at the moment? Hi. Well, the average commute from, let's say, Athlone to Cape Town can cost you about 15 Rand. And obviously that's not a good idea because it can be quite pricey if you don't have the right amount of change. So if the fare is going to go up, if things are going to start going up to, let's say, 20 Rand, that means that it's an average 5 Rand extra per day. And then you have those people who come home, they don't use work transport, so now it means you're going to have to fork out another 5 Rand extra coming home. So that's like another 50 Rand extra. The average person works 5 days a week. That's like 50 Rand extra a week. And that is money that could have been used in food. That's money that could have been used somewhere else. So, yeah, so an increase in the taxi fare at this stage is not going to be a good thing. I mean, you could have bought yourself a nice gas fee with that 50 Rand or something else. Well, we certainly hope that the taxi fare doesn't go up soon. I mean, the extra 5 Rand wouldn't be a good thing. Now, more people have lost their jobs than those who have died of COVID-19. Now, that is an interesting thing to think about because obviously livelihoods have been directly affected by COVID-19. If we think about our restaurants, we think of our clubs and various things, they've been affected. And it's just something that we need to get a grip on as we go through a period of reinvention and discover new gifts and talents that we didn't think we had. So I understand that India is struggling to combat the infection of COVID-19, even though they are the world's largest supplier of the vaccine. So yesterday, Uber expressed its sadness upon the death of Yolandi Boats. Boats went missing after allegedly taking an Uber from ORT Airport. Police confirmed that the body parts of a woman were found in the Vaal River last week, and they've been positively identified as those of Botus. So obviously their systems are configured in such a way that it will aid the police in the investigation and aid them in locating the murderer of Yolanda Botus. That is good because that technology can be used in so many different ways, but now it's going to be used to find the perpetrators and find the people behind the death of this young woman, and that's great. Elsewhere, Cape Town visual artist and creator Loyiso Mkhize and the man behind Mzansi's first ever superhero, Kwezi, has made it to the big leagues. Loyiso Mkhize has published his first comic book for DC Comics, which will go on sale on June 8th. He recently penciled this work behind me, Batman Urban Legends, and it's great to see a local artist, gaining some traction in the comic book industry, and he's done some great work. I managed to read Kwezi a few comic book days ago, and it was quite good. Um, I don't have a copy myself, but I will be sharing that once I get my hands on it again. We are still waiting for Ace Magashule to apologize to Cyril Ramaphosa for that letter of suspension. How do we build a better future for the youth of South Africa? As the youth of this country face socio-economic crises, the leaders of the African countries around the African continent need to start trusting the new generation. They need their energy, they need their fervor to energize their leadership and look at things from a different perspective. The main reason why the youth are not being employed is because the elders fear um, things that they do not understand, whether it's new technology, whether it's new perspectives, cryptocurrency, different styles of leadership. These are all things that old leadership will have a problem understanding, but they need to come to the party and embrace these youth, and they need to look at them to gain a new perspective and a new way of leading so they can save the future. It is a long haul journey for the youth to push issues, and it's going to take more than just one protest. You don't need to protest all the time, but there needs to be a culture of defiance, and this is how you push change. Young people in society are known for shaking things up, and history dictates this. That is what is needed at this point. The youth are needed to drive accountability on all issues. Western Cape Premier Alan Winde has said they will continue the vaccination of healthcare workers until the 15th of May. He has urged residents who are 60 years and older to register for phase 2 of the vaccine rollout in the province. So to register for the vaccine, you simply need to go to www.vaccine.enroll.health.gov.za, where you will see this web page. Complete the form, and they'll be in touch with you as to when you can, go to your nearest center to get yourself vaccinated. Obviously, this is for people 60 years and older. It's time for a commercial break.
It's not just a quota. It's a spot. So good. Welcome to your first day. This is good. It's escort. Mum and Dad did not want you to know. Like, that's the sort of why you got adopted.
I mean, you don't really look like us.
Look at all the photos. You don't look like either of us. That's because you're
Adopted. If you want to ask us any questions, you may.
One question. Did you know that your girlfriend Stacy is also his girlfriend Stacy?
So tasty. You're outsibling your siblings.
It's escort.
Welcome back. So I understand that last ad has been criticized for its take on adoption, and it's been seen as offensive to those who have been adopted. What was Escort's response to this, notification that it is offensive and seen as an offense to those who have been adopted? Well, the response is that it was a satire, which brings to question what is the role of advertising in social cohesion. Well, we can't make a joke about adoption. Well, there was a time when jokes were made about all sorts of things, but this doesn't take away the hurt. How must an adopted child feel about this? We should try and get Escort on the line, as I feel this agency is tone deaf, and in this day and age, you can't afford to be tone deaf. If they did their research, they would have learned just how insensitive this ad is. It is wrong to other an adopted child, and it needs to be tackled correctly. Many of the interviews with the adopted show just how badly they are treated in some cultures after their parents die. Well, certainly not in all cultures. I mean, in some cultures, it's perfectly reasonable to adopt a child, even if they are a different race to you, a different color. We should have a culture of acceptance by now, and we shouldn't be making fun of scenarios like this. I'm sure that Escort overlooked what the cause could be when they put this ad together. Well, it's time to say goodbye again. I hope you enjoyed this sign of the times for the 11th of May. And coming up shortly, we're going to have a discussion about the uh, ANC step aside scenarios. But that's on another episode. See you soon.